What's up, guys? This is John from the Game Tinker, and today we are going to be talking about something pretty neat. Some of you may know about these things, some of you may not. But this is really just what I feel about this and how it works for me in my current situation, and why I choose to use this particular way to play. And what we're talking about is I just watched a really cool guy. His name's Tito, over on Macho Nacho Productions. If you haven't checked him out, look him up on YouTube. He does excellent videos. He's very in-depth, and he goes into reviewing certain products fairly. Now, he just did one on the GBA Consolizer. It is available on GameTech for pre-order. It is not cheap, but it is a very cool mod. Is it something that I would buy? No. Not me personally. However, if you are wanting to play Game Boy Color, or Game Boy Advance games on real hardware on your TV, also for capturing, and you're not wanting to emulate, then by all means, this could very much be a very good product for you. But what I'm talking about is actually playing these games. Now, this is not the particular console that we're talking about. This is a Game Boy SP. What we're talking about is the Game Boy Advance, the bigger one, that a lot of people like. Personally, I like the SP because, you fold it up and bam, it's gone. In your pocket, it's easy. It's easy to carry around. Screen's really nice. This is a AGS 101, so this is the desired one. It's got the better screen, and it's actually a really nice unit to play on. And as you can see, it does have the nicer screen. It's nice and bright, easy to see. But that's not what we're really talking about here. So, how I play all of my older systems is through emulation. Now, that is just how I play them. That's best for me. It doesn't make sense for me to have 500 Nintendo cartridges on shelves that just sit there. Now, to legally do that, you need to own a copy of the game, and you need to actually rip that through legal means. However, that's pretty hard to do. You have to have specialized hardware to do that, and it can be pretty costly. However, I personally feel that with emulation, it is a way to keep games alive. So what I do is I use a Raspberry Pi device. This one's over the top. This is one that I built that is no longer available. And of course, I put overkill. It's got a 120 millimeter fan with LEDs on the outside. It's all fancy. Looks really good, except when you turn it over and it looks like garbage. But this is a Raspberry Pi 3B Plus. It is a little bit underpowered. I would like to go with the Raspberry Pi 4. This does have the WD Labs Pi drive in it, and it is 250 gigabytes. I could run pretty much anything on this, and it's got HDMI, so I can hook it up and capture footage. So to me, this works perfect for what I do. I don't play a whole lot of retro stuff as much as I should. But as far as anything pre-Nintendo 64, I can play on this. I do have an actual Nintendo 64 with an EverDrive, so I can play backups of games on that on real hardware. And I've got a Dreamcast and PS2, etc., etc. So those I actually play real games on real hardware. Older stuff makes more sense for me on this channel to run emulation for this stuff. But that is one way that you can play these games. Another way, and it's not as expensive, and I'll get into the cost of the Consolizer here in just a couple minutes. But I just wanted to give kind of a couple examples of how you can play these games, kind of more in what I would consider a real price range. Not everyone has $300 to just dump out to play, like Pokemon Ruby. It doesn't make sense to spend that kind of money on that. To me, it doesn't make sense. To you, it might be everything. So another easy way to play is by getting something like this, which is a Nintendo GameCube. This one is modified. It is painted white. It's not the best paint job. I need to touch it up. But this is a fancy one, and it has a mod chip in it. But you can get one of these for about $25 on eBay. You can find them on Amazon. They are not region locked. So if you find one out of Japan, it's not a big deal. You can get it for about $25. That's what I paid for this one. This one, I can't remember the color of it, but I believe it was black. So I painted all this to match, and it is real hardware. It does have a Game Boy Advance in there. And the way that you use it, it is a model AGB-001. So it's the bigger Game Boy, and the hardware's in there. But the way that it accesses it is through a disc. So that's the expensive part. It's about $100 to get that disc. And you can find them with the disc for $125. It costs the same whether you buy them separate or together. I would suggest buying them together because it's easier if you can find the disc. Now, if you wanted to do a hard mod, which is a mod chip, mod chips run about $10. So $35 and you're all in. And you can actually play this on the TV. And you can go with composite. I don't have the composite cables because the composite cables are like $400 for this thing. So that doesn't really matter to me. I run regular RCA cables on this, and I run them to a cheap Amazon RCA to HDMI adapter. Works perfect. The adapters are on Amazon for $14. And I run that, and I can capture it perfect. Again, that's 2 ways of playing it with one console. A lot of people have the GameCube, and the add-on is pretty cheap, and they're pretty easy to get. So I mean, that's one cheap way of playing your Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance on the TV. You could also get them through capture. So, if you're wanting to play on real hardware, that's another way to do it because it's actual real hardware. It's not through emulation. And there's another way that you can do it. There's a little device, and I can't remember what it's called, but it also doesn't cost that much from what I remember, and it plugs into your computer, and you can also use it to back up your saves and stuff like that on your computer. You do have to play it through the computer, but it's on. Now that I believe would be emulation, but you can actually draw that off. You can dump the ROM, which is the game. Dump the game file onto your computer, and then you can play it however. But what we're talking about here is the Consolizer. So let me go ahead and show you guys that. Now this right here is one version of the GBA Consolizer. This is not one that I would really want if I was going to purchase one. This is $175. and that is just the internal stuff here that takes up the screen spot. But it does add a Super Nintendo port, controller port, and it does do a HDMI out. So you've got that. This is what the kit includes. This is going to be the PCB with the FPGA chip on it, and then it's got your switches and miscellaneous ribbon cables and stuff that you'll need. Now another version, and again this is $175, and you have to have the console to go with that. Another one is this one, and this one is going to cost you about $200. Now it's got a pretty cool switch cover that looks like a little Game Boy that you can get for an extra $5, so $205 for this kit. You can get it in a bunch of different colors. It doesn't have to come like this. But again, that turns a Game Boy Advance like this into a console that you can play on your TV. And, you know, it's cool. It's an awesome idea. But it's not for everybody. That's a lot of money to play Pokemon Ruby, you know, on the TV. When you can do it for a lot cheaper through other means. But that was just my thought. How do you guys play your Game Boy games? Whether they're Game Boy, Game Boy Color, or Game Boy Advance. Let me know down below how you guys play it. What do you think about these kits like this? I think they're pretty cool. It's not really for me. This particular thing isn't really for me. Now, other things down the line might be for me, like, you know, with this GameCube. I do want to do the SD card and stuff like that. I think that's pretty cool. It's an easier way to play games because with it being physical media, especially optical discs, those things do deteriorate. And this is about the time where they're doing it. I've got PlayStation 1 games that to replace are very expensive now, and they're just destroyed because of disc degradation. So, I mean, it is what it is. When you're a physical collector, it does suck, but that's just part of collecting. So let me know what you guys think of these kits. If you would like to get one, I mean, they are for pre-order right now. They do have a lot of different versions and stuff to make it look cool. It is a very quality kit, I will give it that. And again, Macho Nacho Productions over on YouTube. Check it out. He does excellent work, and he can go more in depth so that you can make your decision on this, whether this would be something that you would want or not. So I hope you guys are doing well, and we'll catch you guys next time.